So today I'm going to be playing a game called Color Effects. I want to say big thanks to Flynn's Arcade for providing the game key. So we're going to jump into this game and see how it plays. It's kind of got a cute vibe. The character looks a little bit like a Hollow Knight. Not Hollow Knight. The main character from Hollow Knight. I think you know what I mean. So we're going to jump into the game. Going to have a quick look at some settings. Yeah, all of that's normal. They do a colorblind mode, which is quite cool. So you can see there, it just looks a little bit different when you're playing it, and then you've got button hints. So that's quite good that they've got that. Okay, we're going to jump into level 1, just see what the experience is. We're going to hold X to move left or right to push the box around. Okay, B is jump. Cool. All that's fairly standard stuff. Are we capturing these things? Yes. So we have to have all of those in order to move things along. So we're gonna, oh, there we go. I feel like it reminds me a little bit of Super Meat Boy. And then that opens that, and then we're done. Sweet, nice little game. And then you can restart it. So I wonder if, you know, a little bit like Super Meat Boy, you had timing. So the timing was important. It was about how quickly you got through a level. Okay. Whoa. Okay. I wasn't expecting, like, what is effectively a boss fight this early on in the game. Okay. So I can't jump, I can't sprint. Is there a sprint button? Am I missing something in the way this plays? Possibly. Or I just need to not get hit. Oh, we can just jump over it. Right. That's very cool. I like that this has got a degree of charm to it, you know? The music's pretty cool as well. I like the music fits the situation. Right. Ah, okay. Right. I see what I need to do. That makes sense. There we go. There we go. Right. That makes much more sense. I was like, what am I missing? Okay, so... And then B to double jump. Right. So I don't know what the best... So does the color that we are gives us the different ability. Ah, but then I can't do that. Okay. We'll use double jump. can't make it. So what am I missing here, I wonder? Okay, so we have to jump. Oh, we have to jump. So basically, depending on what color you've selected, you then get that ability. Oh, I didn't jump. Dang it. There we go. There we go. Okay, so you've got like a save point so you can come back to stuff if you need to, which is quite cool. Right, so if I get that, that's double jump. So it would be about what is best to serve you in a situation. So we've got a little save point. Go. So how are we going to get that? I like the puzzle solving element to this game. It feels like it's a good balance. Okay. So we're going to fall, and then we're going to dash. There we go. And then we've unlocked it. Sweet. Very cool. Okay, that's not going to be what we need for this, but that's good to know because we can't reach these yet. So it seems that you've specifically got like problem solving situations.
Just a minute. Just a minute.
That's going to open this, which gives us double jump. Gives us dash. I think right now we don't. Dash is slightly less important at this point in time. And I like that the abilities take time to recharge, so you kind of have to think about your best movement. What does that unlock? Okay, that turns that off. Good, good, good. Alright, good to know. So now we've got to problem solve this. Okay. Well, we're gonna wait for that to come back, because I reckon what we're gonna do is dash over. So I think we're gonna use the dash ability to get through the button. There we go. Right, and then I think what we do here is we're going to move this brick underneath, and then we'll use double jump. There we go. And boom, done. This feels like a very cool game in terms of the way in which it plays and what you have to do, and you're using a little bit problem solving, so it's not just straightforward collect the thing. This is easy. Something I thought was really charming about this game is when you got different levels, you saw different ways in which you had to try and solve them, which I thought was quite cool. And some of them will surprise you because you'll look at a level and you think, I know instantly how to solve this. And then you start the level and you'll be like, uh-oh, no I don't. The more you go on, the more variation you see in the level design. You also have quite a cool feature, which is a little save thing. So you could have potentially collected part of the things that you need. You might be a certain way through it. And it gives you the opportunity to save where you are. You don't feel like you have to do the whole puzzle all again. There is always an option within the game and the controls to reset back to start, which again is a very cool touch, because if you've saved and you've potentially made a mistake, you've switched the wrong power, you haven't moved a block or an item like you need to, then you can go back to the very beginning, reset the whole thing, start all over again. You know, and the main focus of the game is obviously you need to collect those colors to open the door. But something that I thought was a really, really smart feature, something that happens throughout the game, is you get the new powers, which then again open up other opportunities and then other ways in which you have to try and solve those problems or come up with new solutions to it. Unfortunately, in some of this footage, my gameplay audio wasn't picked up, so it's just me playing, which is why you can't hear the game at this point in time. But I would stress that the game music is really cool, really enjoyable, and I think it fits the theme of the game. And you do see some variation in it, and you'll see why they've implemented different music at different times. Again, there's a save option, but at certain points it's pointless to save it because you haven't made any progress. So it's then thinking about what's best to solve and then save. Like, where am I going to struggle potentially? Where I need to reset to? Different levels, different variations, you've got different tools and implement. I don't want to spoil too much and say what part of the problem solving happens, but there are different tools and mechanics that will crop up throughout the game. Something that I thought was very cool is that after a certain amount of levels, you have boss fights. And I think I talked about this in my initial thoughts. Like, the boss fights are really cool, really charming, a little bit bullet hell in their nature. You do have to think about what power you're using and how you're going to then solve the problem. So it's very much a problem-solving thing. And sometimes it may not be as obvious as you think. Sometimes it may be less complicated than you're making it. And I think that was part of the charm of these boss fights, because when you get through them, you feel rewarded. They actually feel really quite difficult, but it's a good challenge. It's a good balance of a challenge. So it's not like you are stuck on a boss for ages. You just have to rethink or think about how you're approaching the boss fight, because you're probably missing something. There are different levels of the boss fight, and within the boss fight, you might have to change powers a couple of times. And when you've even got that, you then have to think, am I using the right power for this current situation? Or am I overcomplicating it or undercomplicating it or whatever, but it's thinking about what approach do I need to take. So ultimately, what I would say about this game is that I enjoyed it a lot. It's definitely worth playing and picking up, and it is out on the 23rd of November. I will put some links below of where it's available, because like I say, I think it's worth picking up, and it's, for the price it is a very good price point for a game like this. So go check it out. Thank you.